What is up, guys? It's Dylan from Redneck Tuners, and I'm finally back with another video. Super excited to get into it, so let's jump right in. Now, unfortunately, this car has had a pretty interesting couple of months. I haven't actually driven this car in about 3 months or so. Could be more. I'm actually losing track. And that has to do with a couple things. I don't want to get into a lot of the personal stuff because I know you guys didn't sign up for that. So if you'd like to get like a kind of a situation update or something along those lines as to what happened with the car and all sorts of good stuff that kind of got me to this point, let me know, because I will post that. But I know, like I said, you guys are in it for the car content, and that's totally fine. So we're going to jump into that. But anyways, the car has been down for about 3 months. It's been intermittent. The car has ran a little bit, drove me one place, stopped. Yeah, so it's had a couple issues. The biggest among those issues so far has been fuel related. So I did drive the car. It has a coolant leak currently because of kind of stuff I don't really want to get into. But it was a bunch of nonsense, not my fault. I had a coolant leak, a couple vacuum leaks, all that's been fixed, except the coolant leak, actually. The vacuum leaks are all good. But the fuel related issue, I did end up driving it for a day. And I did smell fuel. I was just being ignorant, and came back the next day, smelled it really bad, popped the hood, and I was leaking fuel from the fuel filter pretty bad too. So luckily I didn't start any fires there. But yeah, so that was a big issue. I went ahead and I replaced the fuel filter and all the lines going from the hard lines all the way up to the fuel rail, and I will show you those when I open the hood here. But my fuel filter was really clogged. I will show you a video of that here. Anyways, it was pretty nasty. Glad I changed it. I know my fuel tank has rust in it, by the way. I know that. I'm being dumb about it. So anyways, as soon as I replaced that, it took me a while, but I got through that. Turned on the car and I had a misfire. Unfortunately, that's what I'm trying to be tracing down today. I believe it's my injectors. I have a brand new set of injectors. This is not the first time this has happened, clearly based on the tank. And I know I should drop the tank and clean it out, but to be honest, I don't have the time or energy for that. So we're just going to keep doing this. So I'm going to show you my way of doing it. Hopefully this solves the issue. That way we can get this thing back on the road. There is a meet this weekend, so I want to try to hit it, and this thing is filthy. So let's get into it. I apologize if there's any wind noise or background noise, but like I said, this to me sounds like an injector issue. And the reason I say that, and this is how you would diagnose it yourself, if you're having an intermittent misfire, it could be your injector, it could be stuck injector, it could be not firing, it could be wiring. But typically when you have a dead misfire, it's not intermittent, it's just constant. It could be your plugs, could be your wires, could be your injectors, could be some other things, but those are like the typical culprits. And the best way I find out is if it's running, pull each injector plug individually. If you have a change in your idle, it dips even lower than it already is with your misfire, it's not that cylinder. So work your way 1, 2, 3, 4, and if nothing changes when you do that, I don't know why it wouldn't, but anyways, if nothing changes, you might have another issue. But when you find the cylinder that has nothing happening on it, so when you pull it, nothing changes, the misfire stays the same, that is your cylinder with the misfire. Now, I did this already a while ago, and it was cylinder 3 I had pulled. Let's try and do it again. I pulled it, and yeah, it had a pretty bad, or it didn't have any change. And the misfire sounds really bad. It sounds like a freaking motorcycle. So I ordered the new injectors. It's been a while, but I'm going to put them in. And I'm going to show you some tips and tricks about this too. If you've never done this before on your S chassis, you are going to have Phillips head screwdrivers, bolts for the injector caps. And those are the worst thing ever. They strip really bad. They're typically corroded. And they're just a nightmare. So I'm going to put you guys on to my solution. A lot of people, you can buy them online. They're super expensive, or you just go to your hardware store or order them online. But this is the size you want. That is the exact same thread, and I did it in an Allen key. I might have like 100 of these, so just in case, if any of them strip, I can always get new ones. But they have worked like a champ for me so far. I've replaced these injectors a lot, unfortunately. But yeah, I would highly recommend doing that because the actual Phillips head stuff is terrible. Now, once you have these 2 bolts off for one of the injectors, there are some things I'd like to note. There is a little rubber, kind of a grommet piece directly under where I'm pointing right here, that holds the injector and the little pintle cap there. I believe it is called a pintle cap, and that little rubber piece here, I'm going to show you, it has metal in it, but that little rubber piece is a nightmare. They like to fall out and they get lost in your intake manifold. They're on the floor or whatever, and they're actually pretty difficult to find. It took me a while. I did lose one the first time I did this, and I had to buy a whole new injector rebuild kit. It cost me like 15 bucks. So just be careful with that. All right, I'd be lying if I told you there was a one-stop shop, easy way to pull these things out, because there's not. They're pretty sealed in there. They have rubber seals. The method I found that works best so far, there's these little grooves in here. You pop a screwdriver, try to pull it out that way. If you can get it free enough, you can get like a little tool in here, but be careful not to damage your actual fuel rail, the ring, because then it won't seat properly. Another method is, if you don't care about these injectors and you're going to replace them anyways, use some pliers. You can tear up the sides a little bit. Be careful. Once you've destroyed them at a certain point, it's really hard to take them out. Yeah, have a towel down, have things ready, because when they come out, they do spit some fuel. All right, so I finished the first one just to make sure my method was still approved from the last time I did this, and it is. So the way that I do it is I throw the cap, this thing, I throw that back on there while it's loose. You know, I try to push it down. If it pushes in easily, you know, you win, but a lot of the times it won't. So I throw the cap back on there, I thread a little bit into one side, and I try to fit the other thread into the other side, and then you just work it side to side, boom, boom, boom. Like, tighten this one a little bit, tighten this one a little bit, tighten it. Don't do it too much, you don't want to strip anything out, but just kind of sandwich your way down. And then once you're done, you can either back it off and then do it straight again, or you can just leave it. I typically, once it's sandwiched back in there, I loosen them back up, pull the cap, make sure everything's sitting perfect, and then put it back down, so that way it's evenly torqued. But yeah, I would try that. Let's see how this one goes. All right, 1 and 2 are complete. That means we got 2 more to go. This is the known misfire cylinder right here. It looks a little more messy than the rest of them. Could be part of it. I don't know. We're gonna see. I'm gonna examine it a little bit more because this one is the problem child here. So I'll let you know what I find. All right, I broke it loose. Now we're gonna go for the cheese pull. See what our problem is here. Yuck. Filter is nasty. We have 2 of the 4 caps broken off in there. That's not good. And this thing's filthy. Let's get a new one in there. Number 3 is back in with a new one, a lot cleaner. I also cleaned up a little bit here, and I'm working on number 4 here. And I mean this with all due respect to cylinder 4. I've always hated this one. I had to use a different bolt that was longer because for some reason the injector won't seat the same way as the rest of them. So yeah, we're gonna see how this one goes. Hopefully with a new injector it's a little bit different, but yeah, last one, and then I'll show you what we got as far as our lineup here. All right, cylinder 4 cheese pull. Let's see. Another nasty one. Heck yeah, we love that. Look at that O-ring destroyed. Lovely. With all 4 back in place, all the harnesses back together, and I did not take my screwdriver out. That's lovely. Anyways, and if I learned something from that, honestly, it's just that it's not a good idea to be an injector in my car. Not exactly an easy life, so wouldn't recommend it. But anyways, so we have all that together. I'm gonna go prime the fuel pump, make sure we got no leaks all over with the new lines that I put in the filter, and then the injectors, all that good stuff, and then maybe we'll give it a start. All right, let's prime that pump. Oops, steering wheel locked. Sorry, guys. There we go. Just a click forward, that should prime the pump.
Give that a minute.
And we'll back it off, pull the key out, do that one more time. And let's go check for leaks. All right, so there were no leaks, looks good. Let's see if this solved our issue. Hold on. Looks like we're still missing pretty hard. Let's go look at it. It looks like after giving it a little bit, the injectors finally kind of came around. letting it warm up, kind of idle, see how it does. But it sounds not too bad, so let's see how it goes. Now, I don't expect it to run perfect by all means because it has sat for months. I'm actually surprised I had enough battery to even get this thing to go. But it is idling, missing out a little bit on idle, not too bad. And when I give it gas, it stumbles a little bit, smoking right now. So that means we're running a little rich, I think. Anyways, we're gonna have to diagnose that, but let's see if it starts better this time. Not bad, not bad at all. So the car actually idles pretty good now after letting it sit and kind of just work out. I was giving it a little bit of pedal. It definitely idles a lot smoother than it did initially. So I will take it on a drive. I'm really excited. I haven't driven this thing in so long, but I'm going to take my time. I'm going to be patient with it, let it sit just in case there's any more fuel that needs to be evaporated in there, because it's best to, especially when you're working with fuel, it's best to wait, be patient, take your time, because if you rush, mistakes happen. And a mistake like that is not something I really need in my life right now. And neither do you. So please don't do that. I'm going to take my time. Deanna's going to be here. She'll probably ride with me. And then we're going to take this thing on a spin, see if we can get this thing back on the road. So we're gonna go on a drive right now. Deanna's here filming with me. I'm just gonna do a little test run. Nothing crazy, just kind of like a minor shakedown, and then I'll refine it later for this weekend. But I just want to see if it drives, handles it well. So far so good, so let's see. Bad at all. Back on the road again. We just got some gas in it, as you guys can see, and yeah, so we're gonna take the small victories. I'm gonna try to upload a little bit more. I know it's been really intermittent lately. Like I said, if you guys would like a situation update or a project car update, something like that, let me know. I would be happy to post a video about that, but I know you guys don't want to hear me ranting and complaining. So yeah, please like and subscribe. Also share this with your friends. It really helps me out. Thank you guys so much again, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.